Hey everyone, in this next video I'm going to be talking about 20 fat loss tips. Some of these you're going to be like, can this really be the case? I would tune in because also it's going to be making sure that you do not take yourself backwards if you're also trying to build muscle. So whether you're overweight, whether you're just looking at decreasing your fat levels, but you are healthy weight and you have muscle mass, whatever it is, these are tips for everyone basically, but they will help you with your fat loss tips and also bring to awareness some of the things you might be doing wrong along your fitness journey. So tune in because we're going to go through them. Like mentioned, 20 fat loss tips. Firstly, make sure you're in a good place to enter a fat loss phase, mentally and physically. That's not number one, but it is really, really important. Just because you can doesn't mean you should at this stage in your life. Most people aren't building muscle in a calorie deficit. I've covered this in a couple of videos. You might need more muscle to get the look you want as opposed to losing fat. So just check that out. If you've got a coach, they'll be able to tell you. This isn't done always by dieting. So to get more muscle, you're not going to always achieve it by dieting. To get more muscle, you also decrease fat loss and you're not going to achieve it by dieting. Remember, living at or above maintenance is a huge part of the process. Here are some of the tips that I have for fat loss, and let me know what you think of each one or which one really adds to you or you take on board. If you want to work with me, my email's in the description box below. Should you wish to give me a little thank you for all the coaching and education I put out there, there's a little PayPal link. So let's dive in. Number one, walk more than you want. What does that mean? It means if you're in a sedentary corporate office role and you don't move often, on your 10-minute break, as opposed to getting your secretary to order you a sandwich or someone ordering a sandwich, go down to Pret, go down to the cafe and get your sandwich. Don't overcomplicate it. Do a 10-minute walk. Wherever you can, do a 10-minute walk. It's so beneficial and it adds up. Number two, lift weights 3 to 4 times a week. Lifting weights is not only for people that want to strength train, body build, gain muscle. It's really important about longevity, and I'm trying to break down the wall about this, and that's why you find a lot about protein, a lot about building muscle, whatever age you are. Even if you don't care about having muscle, it's important to lift weights. Something I'm going to continue to mention. Have protein at each meal. Number 3. Protein is the building block for muscle and also helps you feel satiated. Number 4. Nutrition. Eating a well-balanced, nutrition-dense meals are more satisfying and satiating than a bunch of sort of snack bars and any snacks that you grab on the go or microwave meals. Have you ever noticed a microwave meal as opposed to a cooked meal doesn't fill you up as much or as for long? Number 5, drink more water, less Coke, less Pepsi, and less fruit juices as well, and any juices. Where you can, eliminate or reduce alcohol consumption as well. Number 6, get good sleep. Big advocate on sleep. 7 to 8 hours of sleep is great. Poor sleep negatively affects hunger, mood, energy, strength, your mental health, as well as recovery for when you're trying to get your next session in. If you've seen my video around training recovery, I've got some tips in there and I mentioned sleep. I'll also link it in the description box below. It's a great video for you to check out. Number 7, you might need to track your food if you're looking to lose weight or fat loss. Don't pretend it didn't happen just because you didn't log it. If it goes in your mouth, then it counts. So you might want to track your food because honestly, when you track, you become a bit more aware, especially calories are so fluid. Everything nearly has a calorie in it. or calories. Number 8, plan ahead and be prepared with food. Less eating out and less winging it. When we wing it, because we've been so busy throughout the day, it's like, I'm just going to pop downstairs. I'm just going to go out to the corner cafe, grab whatever they've got. I'm starving. Or I've got 10 minutes. I'm going to reach into my drawer. I've got some snack bars. I've got this, I've got that. But you also then in the morning, midday, when you're grabbing your tea between meetings or between clients or whatever you're doing, you also reach to your snack bar or your bag and had snacks as well. And you're not having your proper food. Number 9, don't focus on the scale. Don't expect the scale to go down every single week. It won't, and it will fluctuate. So it'll go down and then it will go up and you'll be like, what the hell happened? So don't focus on the scale. There are explanations for that. Don't use, number 10, don't use the scale as your only measure of progress. Pay attention to biofeedback. That is important. It is more accurate because the scale, muscle is heavy. The scale doesn't tell you you've gained muscle, you haven't lost fat, you've lost weight, whatever it is. It's a number based on the whole proportion of your weight, which doesn't mean that you're basically got a better balance of muscle, water and fat. 11, take pictures and measurements. The scale will never paint the full picture. Pictures and measurements do. 12, plan to bring calories up to maintenance after the diet is done. Don't diet endlessly and live a low-calorie life. You will not build muscle and you will just not be serving your body in a healthy way in the long run, and it will take its toll. That could just even be in terms of your sleep and recovery taking its toll, which then has an impact on the other elements. Number 13, don't compare your results to anyone else, especially those 8-week challenges. I mentioned about this in several videos of mine about comparing yourself, and also about if you're doing a 6 to 8 week challenge and you are here expecting to be there by the end of 8 weeks, it's not going to happen. You will see progress, and this is where it's important when you hire a coach or PT, they make it very clear what you can achieve. It doesn't mean that they're crap. It means that they're being realistic with you. Now, sometimes obviously you have over positive, over optimistic, and you have pessimistic. So you need to see what makes sense to you, but like, it does take time. Number 14 is make it a sustainable lifestyle. Don't go to extremes or look for shortcuts, because you can do initially, if you're looking for weight loss, to go into a very restricted but healthy range of calorie deficit. Okay, but making it going for extremes and long shortcuts are going to be spirals that burn you out. So don't go for that. Go for habits and sustaining the lifestyle. Number 15, it's not a plateau. If you're not consistent and adherent. Number 16 on my list is you may need several fat loss cycles to reach your goal. This means taking time living in maintenance before you go back into a cut. So, and before also you can do some surplusing as well. So, you know, there are cycles as you progress to more advanced level that you might need to do, and a coach can help you on that as well. Number 17, you must be patient and consistent. Stick to the plan even when it seems like nothing is happening, or even when it seems like for 1 week you are not making progress, or there's a slight regress. There might be reasons for that. And if you're working with a coach, they'll be able to tell you, and they'll be able to schedule you maybe a recovery day or switch your training program up. That's why a mentor or coach is great. But don't get demotivated and stay consistent. Number 18, stop hating your body and picking it apart. You are more than your body and this physical vessel that carries you, and have appreciation for it. And also, something I've learned is that our body under our clothes is very different to the body with the clothes. Some people are very open about have you ever seen those pictures? I've got a few of these people that have come to the gym. I look at it, I've seen their pictures and their platform on Instagram, and I see them in person, and it's absolutely different. Like the way they take their pictures, the way they look on Instagram, whether they're using a filter or not, is probably like 10 pounds lighter than where they are in reality. Or in reality, you might find that their legs seem chubbier. And by chubby, I don't mean that negatively, but what I mean in comparison, it's not similar to the photo, or the muscle formation is not showing as much, etc., etc. So just be aware of that and don't pick it yourself, because it's not going to help you. It's actually going to make you feel shit and worse. Number 19, accept it where it will be uncomfortable, especially if you're doing cycles. It's going to be uncomfortable. You're going to be tired sometimes. It's great if you've got people that understand that around you, that support you, like-minded people. If you've got a coach, great, because they'll keep you going. If they're a coach that don't understand and they're actually making you feel crap, then you need to get another coach. Number 20, understand it will take longer than you think and than you want. Again, that's really important for you to know. So back to the intro, I said make sure you're in a good place to enter a fat loss phase, mentally and physically, because it will take its toll. By that is that if you are going through anything that could be, you know, mentally impacting you or physically impacting you, by adding this goal, it adds to it, which then takes a more significant toll on you. So just, you know, if you're fat loss usually means that you're not necessarily overweight, so you should be within a range where you're not, what can I say, you're not in a high risk health, I need to take action right now phase, where you can try and work through what you have, so that when you enter this phase of achieving a fat loss goal, you're going to be able to do it in a better place. And if you saw my recovery training for recovery video, recovery for training, I mentioned that stress limits your progress as opposed to being under stress. So by adding stuff, you're going to make yourself more stressed, and you don't want to do that. So take care of yourselves. And if you want to look at some of my other videos about either strength training, fitness in general, or even balancing your life when it could be overwhelming, stressful, whatever it is, in terms of demands of your physical, achieving your goals, in terms of your mental, in terms of life balance, you'll find those videos on my channel. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in our next video. Have an amazing day wherever you are in the world. Take care of yourselves.